The strongest man in chess is Magnus Carlsen, and the strongest woman is Hou Yifan. She's the only female chess player to be in the top 100 of the world. She occupies the 81st place. All the others are men. How is it possible that in a sport like chess, that is about a mental battle, a battle between two brains, there is such a big difference between men and female? Alright, let's start with some very supportive comments made from very famous world champion, very famous chess player about women inferiority in chess. Let's go. Bobby Fischer says, I guess they're just not so smart. I saw the video, I was pretty proud of saying this. And Casper in 1989 says, chess is not for women. Women are weaker fighters. This is an interview by the world champion Garry Kasparov, but it's not the only. Those are not the only one. Also, Nigel Short in 2015 was vice president of World Chess Federation. He said men are hardwired to be better chess players than women. Yeah. So as you can see, there are lots of very encouraging comments from some of the top personality of the chess world. But okay, the purpose of this video is to try to understand what is the reason in a very objective way, trying to see what are the difference in chess between men and women. Alright, the factor number one is for sure the statistic factor. I've done so many researches, and yeah, this is a factor considered in in all the article basically. So it's clear that there is a big gap between the male participation and the female participation in chess tournament. I wrote here some data, some percentages, and basically this Russia 90.8%. It means then in 2019, I took this year because if I thought it was more precise due to the pandemic, because many players were not really playing in 2020, 2021. So those data are about 2019. And in 2019, 19.8% of all the players playing playing chess officially for Russia were female. And so the percentage of female playing decreases if we move to India, is 14.2%. And if we go to USA, it's already under 10%, so we are 8.2%. And it goes even more dramatically down in Europe, Germany with 7.7%, Italy with 6.4%, and Iceland with 4.3%. So as some many studies about statistics, I consider one made in 2008 by a psychologist called Marin Bilacic. And basically it's clear that if we take two groups, one extremely large and one very small, so the large we can consider the male players, and in the small the female players, it's clear that just by chance the one performing better will be probably in the largest group, at least by chance. So this is just a first factor. Women are playing very few, and so it's clear that men should perform better. But I think that this is not the only factor, and I think that is not simply a matter of statistic. And also Yifan thinks the same. She made an interview for chess.com where she was replying at the question, is it simply a matter of statistics? And she said, this is true, but it's just one of many reasons. And I'm not sure which one is most important. So the other reason, there are for sure other factors. She's just not sure which one is the most important. And she pointed out an interesting aspect, this physical aspect, because chess exhausts a lot of energy, especially when the games are lasting 6-7 hours. And this is true. Even more interesting, what she says later. She thinks that women are training less hard at chess compared to men while they're growing up. That might be an interesting point from an insider. She trained really a lot chess when she was young, and she became one of the strongest women of all time. So what is clear from those data is that the participation gap cannot fully explain the difference in top rankings, male, female. So there has to be some other factor, some external factor that we need to consider. And for those external factor, I would like to give a big shout out to an article written by Professor Wei Ji Ma. He's not just a FIDE chess player, but he's also a professor, and here that, of neuroscience and psychology at the New York University. So I think that his voice, he being a neuroscience and psychology, and at the same time also a chess player, his voice is really a voice that we should listen to. He explains that the gap between gender in chess is due to many external factors, social, cultural, and economic. And here we have some bullet points about some of his ideas about what could be the reason. He says that top female players are often regarded relegated to women invitational tournaments, and playing just for women and playing with players that are less strong than the male is really limiting your ability or a female ability to increase the rating. Then what is true is that federations are investing less in top female players than in the male counterparts. I think this is an effect of the difference of strength, but is a vicious circle, because then women are less strong, there are less investments, and the situation is telling. One other reason is that, among top chess player with children, women are the ones that are more burdened with childcare duties, and of course, due to that, they have a bit less time to prepare for tournament. The next point is very interesting. It's the first time that I've heard of it, and I've read in the article written by Professor Wei Ji Ma. Is this stereotype threat? It's a psychologist concept that explains that a group might underperform due to the pressure and anxiety provoked by the stereotype itself. So that I would say this negativity around the performance is not helping women to perform better. The last point is an hostile environment where top women needs to deal with. And I want to give a big shout out to a great chess player, women GM Jennifer Schade. She did this beautiful art masterpiece, a chessboard called Not Particularly Beautiful, and where there are all the misogynistic insults that she and other females had to be subjected to. So it's a very also touching project. Okay, so this was a bit the picture of some information that I found online. And now I would like to point out what is my personal opinion on this. First of all, I read many articles, some were a bit strange, reporting data that were not really significant, and other less accurate, other were just, personal opinions, and let's say not too deep about the theme, but the article have Wei Ji Ma really helped me to have a bit more clarity about this theme. As a woman and as a chess player, I dream that one day we will have a women chess player to become world champion. And still I think that we are so far from that to happen, because we are in a situation where the women chess is still much weaker than the male world. I think that the chess community, the FIDE, should work on different levels. I think that they say that they are working on it, and I think it's important to keep encouraging women to play chess. I think this Beth Harmon was probably one of our best chance to involve more women to join the chess scene. Let's see what will happen in the future. And then I think another important point, and this is in a long-term perspective, has to be to delete the sections in chess. Because in chess, there are two categories. Open section, open for everyone, and the female section, open just for women. And this is in theory. In practical, women are playing the female section and male are playing the open section. There are very few women that are going for the open section. And I think that the only way that we can have a woman aim for the top is just to play all in one category. And the only sense to separate the tournament would be to involve the participation, but at one point, having two sections is a limitation, as Wei Ji Ma, as Hou Yifan was saying. And there is a demonstration because two of the strongest women of all time, Hou Yifan and Judith Polgar, they started to play open tournaments since they were very, very young. And Hou Yifan, in her interview, she writes also that this has been a critical point for her growth as a chess player. I think that a second point is the need to improve as a society. The entire world is fighting for the so-called gender equality. In theory, we are near in many countries to get more and more victory towards this goal. But I think that the real we can arrive to the point that a female, can think that she can achieve everything that a male can do. We need to work on a social point of view. I think that is starting from education, from parents, because the only way that a woman is going to reach top rankings in chess, but in any aspect of life, is that she strongly believes inside that she can do it. Because if she thinks that she should stay at home and should just care about childcare, about children, then I don't think that we are going to go anywhere. And this belief has to be not on paper, but has to be inside. And in order to be inside, we need to eliminate all the naysayers, all the people that say, no, you cannot, you're women, all these very misogynist comments as we saw previously. Yeah, this has to change. If not, it will be very, very, very hard. So I hope that the next generation of young ladies can believe in their heart, in their brain, that they can achieve whatever they want. There are basically no limitation between genders. There are researches about male and female brain, and they are not proven to have compromising difference that would affect the way of women to reach the top level in many aspects of life. They need to believe, and we as a society, we need to make sure that this belief is not compromised by stupid comments, by old ways of see the world, and by closed mentalities. This is not a battle of women against men or only chess related. This is a challenge for our society to evolve towards a better, a fairer one, where every human being has a possibility to make of their life what they really want and to achieve extraordinary things.